Hey everyone, I'm here with my friend Devin, and today we are going to talk about getting along with your roommates. And this video was actually requested by one of our viewers, so I'm really excited to do this.
I had two roommates when I lived on campus this year, and my first roommate and I totally did not match up at all. We didn't have anything in common. We lived in two completely different worlds. She liked video games, I was really girly. So basically we lived our own lives, and actually she ended up being one of the best roommates possible because we were completely different and we were never getting in each other's way. We were never bothering each other. We never had conflict or anything like that just because we were completely different, and as a lot of people say, opposites attract. Yeah. So it worked out really well, but the actual dorm just wasn't working out for me. So I ended up switching, and I got another roommate who I was best friends with. We literally did everything together, and it really takes a lot for two people who live together to get along, and
especially when you're friends.
Yeah.
I think that's almost 1,000 times harder.
Yeah, and so it just made it hard, but it made it so much fun. We knew when the other one was mad, so we could give each other space.
Yeah.
And we shared a lot of clothes, shoes, makeup. We helped each other get ready. We had a lot of the same classes together, which was also nice. If people do know their roommates, scheduling one or two classes together is nice, just so you can study with somebody that you know.
That's true, yeah.
So that was really nice. And then the other thing that I would recommend is, at least at our school, they had contracts that you had to sign.
Right.
And so you went through and said, okay, either boyfriends are allowed to stay in the room or they're not allowed. Or we have to clean our room every week on, Monday afternoons. Or just something like that. And you go through just a contract, and I think you can even find some, online or something.
Yeah, so, even if your school doesn't require it, if you just make, your own version of it and post it on, the wall or something like that, it'll make a huge difference.
And then when you have a conflict, you can go look at what you guys decided, and it's already solved. So
exactly.
And it was really helpful.
I think that a lot of times if you're rooming with your friend, you feel oh, I don't need to sign this contract. We always get along so well.
Exactly.
You would be surprised, the things that you didn't think would irritate you that do.
That really do.
Even music sometimes. If you have a headache and it's 10 o'clock at night and your roommate, because you guys didn't make an agreement and you didn't think that 10 o'clock at night music would bother you, all of a sudden it's the end of the world.
It is. And a lot of good friendships from high school or whatever sometimes get ruined because of roommate situations. So it's always nice to just be in agreement at the very beginning of the year so there's no problems later in the year, because, and also I would recommend going potluck when you get a roommate.
Even if you're going to school with a bunch of your friends from high school, because you know that you can always go back to your friend's room, if you don't feel like being in your room.
Exactly.
And the same goes for, party dorms and things like that. Mm-hmm. My freshman year, there was one dorm that was just known for the party dorm. It was the most fun and everything, and everyone was oh my gosh, we have to live here because it's just going to be so much fun. But I actually didn't end up living there. I ended up living in one of the most quiet dorms, and I'm so glad, because when I wanted to have fun, I could.
Just
but
walk
when
over
I wanted
there.
It to be quiet, I always had that. So I had the flexibility to do that, whereas if not, I would always be stuck, with people just going crazy at every hour of the day.
Exactly. So, I would definitely recommend going for a dorm that you wouldn't necessarily think you would love to live in, because you're going to end up loving it.
So, let's say that you really have thought it through and you realize that, the room situation that you're in isn't the one for you. Should you just deal with it the rest of the semester, or not be embarrassed and actually go to your RA and ask, the solutions?
I definitely think that you should give it a few weeks. When you first move in and you see your roommate for the first time, you probably think oh my gosh, this girl is a total freak. I cannot imagine living with her. What is this? What's going to happen? And honestly, give it a couple of weeks and you'll be surprised. Like I said before, if you guys are completely different, it may end up working out better because you're never going to get in each other's way.
Yeah.
So give it a couple of weeks, and then if it's not better, either go to your RA or we could just go straight to the student housing office. Okay. And they're against letting people switch for,
silly
offensive reasons.
Okay.
And so I would honestly say, like, you need to have a good reason. Like, you don't want to disrespect anyone. And so, just say it's really not working out and you think you would be happier with somebody who's more of a night person or more of a day person, or just have a good reason so that you don't look bad as a roommate and you're not going to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah. And then a lot of times before you apply for housing, you have to fill out like a survey.
Yeah.
Be 100% honest with yourself on that, because even if like just one of the questions, which is like, are you messy, for example, if you like think, well, I won't be messy because I'll be living with someone I don't know.
Yeah.
After a few months, your true self will come out, and just because you thought that you would be cleaner because you don't know that person, you will. And so just be as honest as you can on those things, because that's the only way it'll work out for you.
Yeah.
What about deciding, like, who's bringing what? Like, who brings the TV, who brings the toaster, things like that. How do you figure that out with your roommates, especially since you didn't know them?
Right. Well, we were given our roommates' names before we got to school, as well as their school email address. Mm-hmm. So I just contacted my roommate and I was like, hey, I'll bring the TV if you bring the DVD player. And we just worked out things where it was close to the same price. And, as far as buying stuff together, I would really encourage not to do that, because when it comes down to the end of the year, it's deciding who gets what and who takes this and who takes that. Mm-hmm. So
if you're keeping food in your room, like, or if you're living in an apartment style dorm, mm-hmm. like, if you don't feel comfortable with people taking your food and things like that, because I know a lot of people aren't, because that's like your food that you're paying for, like, a lot of times people will understand that you don't want them just by writing your name on the thing.
Right.
Because if it doesn't have a name on it, people are like, oh, it's open for sharing.
Right.
But if you see that someone's name is on it, that's kind of a key to know that's just theirs.
Right.
So that way you can try to, at first, avoid any confrontation about it, because a lot of times that will just take care of the problem itself.
Right, definitely. Because also, you don't want other people that live in your dorm to get the idea that your room is like the party room with all the snacks and all that, because your food will be gone so quickly.
Yeah, or you don't want, like, your roommate to have friends over and think it's okay to eat your food and things like that, because then that just gets annoying, because you're like, I don't know you, why are you eating my things?
Yeah.
So I know that you lived in a suite style dorm, so how did you kind of work around 4 girls sharing one bathroom?
For us, it actually ended up working out a little bit better than for most people. We all sort of had a different school schedule, and so we each left for class about 30 minutes apart, and then we would each get home from afternoon activities and athletic practice and all of that at all different times. So 2 of us took our showers at night, and then the other 2 took their showers in the morning. Right. So we each got plenty of time in the bathroom to take as long of a shower as we wanted and do our makeup, do our hair. One thing that I really found convenient was I kept all my makeup and most of my hair products in my room, and I had a big full-size mirror, and I just sat in front of the mirror and did all my hair and makeup as soon as I was done, so that somebody else who wanted to use the bathroom could use it. So, but if you don't have the schedule where it works out like that, just work out something and sit down with the other girls in your room and just say, like, okay, I'm going to take, showers this time and you can take them this time. And just, like, you don't have to stay on a strict schedule, but just, like, work something out so you guys aren't battling for the bathroom time.
Yeah, and more often than not, you'll kind of, like, naturally figure out who likes to shower when and things like that. And then it always is a good idea to keep a good-sized mirror so that you can do makeup or straighten your hair really quickly in your bedroom. That way, like, sometimes you'll have, like, it's like a Saturday night, there's a party, and all of you are going to it.
Exactly.
So that's when the bathroom can get a little
very busy.
Yeah. So it's good to always have kind of like a backup little area where you feel comfortable doing your makeup and hair.
And I really liked having a full-size mirror because it gave me the option to look at my entire outfit, because a lot of the bathrooms will only have a mirror from the counter up. So you can only see like your top half. So it was nice having just a full-size mirror. I got mine at like Target for like $5. But I just like stuck it in the side of my room, and it ended up being like my own little personal bathroom.
Yeah, so. And then the other good thing about having a mirror is that it makes your space look bigger. So even if you have like maybe 2 mirrors or something like that, your room will automatically look bigger and brighter. And as you know, dorm rooms are already small enough, so why not take advantage of it and make it look a little bigger?
Yeah.
I hope you guys got a good amount of tips from Devin about rooming with people and just roommates in general. And feel free to ask any questions, and whether it's for me or for Devin, would be more than happy to answer any other specific questions that you have about getting along with your roommate. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check back tomorrow for another video. Bye! Bye.